Hi there, this is Julie. Welcome to the podcast. I am proud owner of Yerberia San Martin Caballero, and welcome to season 2. Believe it or not, it has gone by so quickly. I am so glad that you're here, and I hope that you're finding these podcasts both entertaining and useful. Feel free to send us a message, contact us here at the shop. You're welcome to text to 281-901-0560, or if you prefer to speak with us, you are absolutely welcome to call 281-442-1200. Make sure to leave a message if we do not pick up the phone. So back to the podcast. Before we begin, I would like to invite you to submit questions through Messenger that I will randomly pick and answer at the end of each podcast. I will do my absolute best to offer some clarity, and this is an awesome way to get a little bit of insight and clarity completely free to you. All submissions are anonymous, and I will definitely take the time to look at them and randomly choose one. So we'll do that at the end of this one. Okay, so this is again season 2 of the podcast. Let's see. I'm going to start off this podcast with talking about depression and negative energy. I often get asked in a card reading or even in a cleansing to remove negativity. It seems a common idea or misconception is whether someone feels that they have either bad luck or witchcraft or negativity, or it's just depression that they're going through. And I understand the logic of it confusing people because it sometimes crosses over. It isn't necessarily so black and white. So let me explain a little bit what my suggestions are, or what my opinion is, to help you clarify whether it's just a little bit of dip of an emotion like a depression or it's actual negative energy. So if you are suspicious that something is blocking you, or there's a negative energy or a negative spirit, or maybe someone has done something negative to jeopardize you, or maybe you do rituals and you're thinking, maybe I've been doing rituals for X period of time and I feel like it's turned on me somehow, or it's blocking me. I'll give you a few telltale signs. So if it is something negative, if there is a negative spirit or negative spells have been done on you, or you have done negative spells and they've somehow turned on you, you will definitely feel a general uneasy feeling. It is also very common to wake up between 2:30 and 3:30 in the morning randomly. Every once in a while, it doesn't really matter. But if it becomes a regular thing, you wake up, look at the time, and it is always 2:30 to 3:30 in the morning, and there is no logical explanation, that could be a sign that there's actually something negative hindering or blocking you, or a negative spirit lingering. Another thing that would, like a telltale sign, would be the general uneasiness or feeling of someone or something being near. So, for instance, if you're washing dishes and you just have the eerie or sensation or the eerie feeling that someone is standing near you or behind you, or you have the general feeling of someone watching you and you look and no one's there, if that becomes a regular thing, that can also be a sign of something negative that's lingering. Seeing actual shadows, dark shadows, or seeing people from the corner of your eye can sometimes be negativity. But remember, sometimes, and this is a small exception, some people can see spirits and can see ancestors and spirit guides. So having said that, it doesn't mean that everything we see is negative, but generally speaking, something negative would be a dark shadow, and it would give us an uneasy feeling. Another thing would be that I hear often, and I've experienced through my work, is people will tell me they're awake, or they're trying to wake themselves up and they're fully aware that they're asleep, but for some reason they can't wake themselves up. Almost like an out-of-body experience, or the feeling of heaviness over you, like you can't get up or you can't physically move because you feel a strong energy or something weighing heavy on you. In Spanish, I hear it often described as se me sube el muerto, which basically is what I just described. But like I've mentioned, these would be uneasy feelings. This would not be a feeling of, I dreamt of a loved one who passed and I felt their presence, or I smelled their scent, or I felt their embrace. I'm talking more of the negative side. If you like to light candles and and so any kind of candle that's not a black candle. So excluding any sort of black candle that's either for reversing or separating people, just a general candle, a white candle, a saint candle, a virgin candle, or even a candle honoring God or an ancestor. If they suddenly get really dark, or the glass breaks in half, or the flame is awkwardly huge, those can also be signs of negativity or negative spirits lingering. And if you think of it, a negative spirit wants to block you from reaching your goals. So if you're lighting a success or protection candle, then it's going to try to hinder that, because that's in essence what it's trying to do. It's super important that when we do any kind of spiritual work, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this last season, whenever you do any sort of spiritual work, just be aware and recognize and respect that you are opening, in essence, a portal for spirits to come through. So be really cautious about doing any kind of ritual that you saw online or you saw on YouTube, or a friend of yours suggested you do this. Definitely follow your intuition, and by all means do what you feel will help you, but do a little bit of research first. Make sure that you're fully aware of what you're invoking. So if it's more of a depression, if it's more of the person just feeling a little run down, we would have more of like emotional feelings. So sadness, not having a lot of energy, not feeling motivated, feeling like generally unhappy or sad or crying consistently. But keep in mind that it's not black and white. So depression can lead to negativity, which would have the same signs as if someone were doing negative work on you. And if you think of it, if you do have a negative spirit that's lingering, and if there's a negative ritual or petition that's been done on you that's blocking you in some way, or making you unhappy, or causing conflict or argument for you or your loved ones, or a relationship, it can lead into depression. So my suggestion, if you're going through this, I hope that this will help clarify a little bit. Look to see where it's coming from. Why am I sad? Why am I feeling this way? Does it make sense? If you've ended a relationship, or if you've lost someone, then it's expected for you to be sad, and we have to sort of go through, respect and honor those emotions, because it is a process for us. But if it seems to come out of the blue, there's no logical explanation, then that's when I suggest that you consider that there may be something negative that's causing this. I often hear that people are feeling okay, and when they get home, things seem a little bit off, or you're in a good mood, and once you get home, the mood changes. So one suggestion I always offer is to spiritually cleanse the home. End of the year is really the best time. We're right there now. Decluttering your space. And remember, entrance to your home, according to Feng Shui, is happiness. Bedroom is love life. Kitchen is finances. So decluttering, keeping it tidy, making it presentable, making it a space that you're happy and content with. I always suggest when decorating or when switching things around, listen to what you are drawn to, or what you like, and what makes you happy. There's no set in stone way to do things. So my suggestion would be, if you're going through either a depression, or you feel like there's a lot of negativity around you, take some time to sort of figure out, as much as you possibly can, the source of it. Try to decipher whether it's a natural feeling or it's actually something negative. Once you do that, I completely understand that you may not be able to get a clear answer to either one of these, but have some direction. My suggestion is to try to take control of the struggle and not allow it to have a life of its own, or not allow it to, I don't want to think about it because it'll get worse. Sometimes you just have to address it. I'm also suggesting, sometimes people around us will tell us, people that are around us regularly, or people that love us, may ask, what's going on? You seem a little different, or you seem a little quiet, or it seems like things are, you're not your normal self. Doesn't mean that we're in a full-blown depression, nor does it mean necessarily that someone's doing work on us or that we have bad luck on us, but use these messages as wake-up calls. Another simple way that I would suggest, well, I don't want to say simple, but another logical way that I would think of to decipher between depression and bad luck, negativity, or witchcraft would be through prayer. So if you start doing prayers on a regular basis, asking, praying to God or whatever spiritual energy you believe in to get rid of anything negative that's blocking or hindering your success, if that day or a couple of days later you seem to feel relieved, it probably is something spiritual. If you feel slightly optimistic, but the general feeling is still there, more than likely it's a little more emotional. People that are close to us, people that we can trust, people that we know have good intentions towards us, can also help do prayers for us. So if you do have someone that you trust, or you're blessed enough to have someone that you can rely or lean on, I suggest that you do so and make a sort of a pact with each other. You know, sometimes when we're in it, when we're going through a depression, or when we have something negative that's blocking us, unfortunately, we don't see it. Others may see it before we do, or may recognize it early on. So I suggest, if you have someone like your spouse or a best friend or a family member, just sort of keep each other on check a little bit. Hey, this seems off for you, or hey, I need you to recognize this, and do it back and forth, and just make sure it's someone that you can trust. But that would be sort of a person that would hold us both accountable. You and the other person would be a good way. Keep in mind that, generally speaking, whatever energy we are carrying, we affect directly in our home or in our business. So super important, the mood that you're in, the way that you're feeling, your general happiness in your home or business can also help. So just definitely be aware of this when you're coming home from work, or after a huge argument inside the house. Those energies do linger. So that's one of the reasons why we sage the house or business. And this is one of the reasons why we burn church incense, to get rid of anything negative. If you have an altar in your home, or you like to burn spiritual candles, I always suggest that you keep them in a specific space in the home. I strongly recommend that they're not in the bedroom. Our bedroom is our safe haven. We go to sleep in this space. We're not conscious in this space. So it's just not a great space. I know some people tell me, well, that's the only place I have privacy. My suggestion then would be, well, maybe instead of 7-day candles, maybe like votive candles or smaller candles, or burn them for a period of time daily. I know some people are very gung-ho about never turning a candle off. It is completely okay to turn off a candle if you need to. The candle, the glass, the wax is not magical. It's what you're putting in it. My only suggestion, if you choose to turn them off, or it's convenient for you to turn them off, make sure that you do it for a specific amount of time. So, you know, maybe you light your candles for 30 minutes, or maybe for an hour, maybe for 5 hours, but let it be a specific time, so it's a specific ritual, would be my suggestion. So I hope that this helped clarify some of this confusion. One of the biggest things that I can suggest whenever I do a cleansing to get rid of negativity, witchcraft, depression, or bad luck, the frame of thought of the person, and having that desire to feel better, to do better, and to overcome struggles is a huge, powerful tool. So don't underestimate that. Another suggestion I will offer, hopefully you're not going through either struggle, depression, or negative energy, make sure that you protect yourself and carry a protection so that you can avoid that. Because just as our home or our job carries energy, wherever we visit also does. And, you know, if you go into a space and you feel a little uneasy, or things feel a little bit off, or you suddenly feel anxious, learn to listen to those cues. I know there's a fine line between being aware and obsessing. So I suggest that you find a healthy balance. Be aware of your surrounding, but let's stay away from being paranoid or being overly confused or nervous about our space. We have power over our energy. We can protect ourselves. We can make a conscious effort to keep distance from something negative if we feel that it's something that doesn't serve a purpose for us. So let's hold on to some of that power, would be my suggestion. So as promised, I will answer a random message that I received online. Let's see. So I will choose this one. She's asking me if I see any money coming to her this month? So this month would be in November. So I'm going to answer this question between November and December. And my response to you, so I'm going to read the question so that she knows exactly who I'm answering. The question is, hi, are you doing? Did you see me getting any kind of money or moving this month? So I'm assuming she means, is her money going to improve this month? So I'll answer this month and December. So yes, I do see money coming into your hands. I don't see a significant major difference in money. I do feel like it's going to be I feel like you're going to borrow some money. So you may apply for some credit, or someone in the family may help you, but I don't feel like it's yours. I feel like it's something that you're going to borrow. Be really careful around your job, because I feel like there's going to be some temptation for you to cut corners or to take something that may be a little easy to take. I don't necessarily feel like there's a major consequence, but don't bite the hand that feeds you would be my suggestion. So the rest of this year, yes, I do see money coming into your hands. I don't see a major influx or a significant change that I would tell you be patient with it. I think you're going to reach your financial goals through a lot of effort, through a lot of sacrifice. But I definitely think that you need to be really cautious, because I feel like there's going to be something tempting for you to take or to do around job before the end of the year. And I feel like it can bring consequences into next year. So be really cautious, be very meticulous when it comes to that. So I hope this podcast, I hope this podcast served a purpose. I hope that it helped shine some light in any sort of confusion. Remember, as I always say, this is my personal opinion through my experience and through my work. I truly appreciate you taking the time and listening. So I am excited about the second season. Welcome back. If you're new, welcome for the first time. Don't forget, submit a question. I will answer them weekly. Awesome way to get a little bit of insight. I will do my absolute best. And above all, it's free. So make sure to look at all of the social media posts at the bottom. I will have all the links where you can send your questions. And if there's anything specific that you maybe need a little more clarity on that that I shared with you in the podcast, feel absolutely free to contact me. 281-442-1200. If you prefer to text, 281-901-0560. Thanks so much.